Generational wealth is a term that you see people throwing around these days. Most of the time, in my experience, you hear from young black males throwing around this term generational wealth, and they're talking usually about some athlete or some entertainer that has made a certain amount of money, or they have a certain level of contract where they're making a certain amount that season or for the life of their contract, and they say, well, this person has generational wealth. Most people don't understand what generational wealth even means, and I'm going to debunk the nonsense that many of you have come to believe. You didn't learn this anywhere. You just heard somebody else say it, then you repeated it because it made logical sense to you. The problem is you got your logic from someone who has no logic, but I'm going to help you out right now. Just listen closely. Number one, salary, income, and paychecks do not represent, nor do they constitute generational wealth. They constitute making a lot of money. If you have a big salary, your favorite athlete makes $50 million a year, great. Your favorite entertainer got a check for $200 million, amazing. You have an income of $1 million a year, also fantastic, congratulations. None of those constitute generational wealth. All they constitute is the amount of money that you made right now. That is not the same as having generational wealth, no matter how much you made. You get a check for $500 million right now today, that is not generational wealth, and I'll explain to you why that is. Because generational wealth is not a dollar amount. Same way that being rich is not a dollar amount. Number two, generations, for you to have generational wealth, generations that follow you must still be earning money and living the lifestyle that you're living. That's what generational wealth means, that your next generation, your kids, their kids, their kids, and their kids can all live the way that you're living. And if all you have is a paycheck for $500 million, first of all, inflation is making the value of that 500 million get lower and lower. Secondly, you're spending it because you're living a certain way. And third, eventually some generation is not going to be able to live off that money if they even have any of it left after taxes and after your spending and after the inflation takes away the value of that dollar. That is not generational wealth. The money has to continue coming in, which means you must own money producing assets, not just your paycheck, because your paycheck came from you doing a certain amount of work. Guess what? You can't pass a job off to your kids. You can't pass being in the NBA off to your kid getting the same contract as you. That is not generational wealth. That is money. It's income. It's great. But generations means they have to be earning money, or money has to be coming in through an asset that you control and that they can control that has nothing to do with you doing the actual work. That is what generational wealth actually is. And having a paycheck is not that. And number three, the reason why people have this foolish idea is because they don't teach financial literacy in schools. I didn't learn this in school. I had to get my education on my own. Many of you won't learn it from your parents because they don't know. So you have to go out and independently get your own information and your own knowledge. And the most important way to get this is to be looking for it and understanding and accepting your ignorance so that you can be enlightened. But if you don't understand it, you don't know something, or you think you know something that doesn't make any sense, then you're not going to go looking for the information. Good news is the information is out there and is mostly free on the internet if you are willing to pay the price of actually listening, learning, and reading. Work on your game.